everyone, thanks so much for joining us for today's webinar. This webinar is on the Bachelor of Sport, Health and Physical Activity with a specialisation in outdoor education. This is actually a brand new specialisation for us at Flinders for 2019, so it's a very exciting area. We'll be speaking a bit about the course in just a moment, but just to introduce ourselves, my name is Nicole Liebel and I'm a student advisor here at Flinders. So basically my role is to help answer any questions you might have about entry requirements or differences between different courses and all of that kind of thing as well. I also have Josh Rankin joining me today. Josh is a lecturer in the outdoor education area. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi everybody, so I've been at Flinders for the last 2 years, been working in the health and physical education stream of teacher education and also in the Bachelor of Sport, Health and Physical Activity. And we have one current topic in outdoor education, and what one of my plans has been and what we've been able to do for next year is actually start the outdoor education stream in the Sport, Health and Physical Activity degree, which is really exciting.
Awesome. So we'll get into a bit about the actual course. So basically this course was developed because a lot of you guys want to become outdoor education teachers. So this is a way of going about that now. Basically this course will go for 3 years full time. You can study it part time as well if you want to. It will have a guaranteed entry ATAR for next year of 80, and what that means, if you get 80 or over for your Year 12 results, and this course is in your list of preferences, you are guaranteed an offer to this course. We're not sure what the competitive entry will be just yet because it is a brand new degree for us, but 80 would be a good mark to go towards as well. There are no prerequisites, so there's no subjects you need to complete as part of your Year 12 studies in order to be able to come and do this degree. We will teach you all the things that you need to know in it. There are a couple of additional criteria though. So as part of the course you will obtain a national DCSI screening test and also a couple of certificates in abuse and neglect response. There's also an online course that you do at the beginning of your studies as well called Play by the Rules certificate, and it's just a short online program that you do to allow you to participate in your placements. So to get into some of the different what's actually involved in the courses, I'll hand over to Joss because he's much more familiar with all the different areas than I am, and we'll have a chat about what they all involve.
So in terms of the degree more broadly, it is in sport, health and physical activity. So you have an opportunity to look at professions around recreation, sport, physical activities, and the new stream, as Nicole has said, is in outdoor education. So that will fill effectively your elective pathway, and it will give you an opportunity to look at a range of professions, potentially in the outdoor spaces. So we're looking at the opportunity for activity leadership, extending into outdoor education as a teacher if you continue on into a Masters of Teaching, but also more broadly around environmental education or ecotourism or a range of other areas in outdoor environments. So you'll actually learn to participate, facilitate in and work with people in a range of different activities. So we're going to look predominantly towards bushwalking and rock climbing. And as we go further into the degree, we're going to look for opportunities to also extend beyond that as well. So depending on what you're looking at electing in some of your practical experiences and some of your field placements, you'll go beyond those two activities as well. On top of that, you'll look to develop contacts and networks within local and national organisations. So we've got outdoor providers in South Australia that we connect with, as well as across other states, and we're looking at also connecting with international partners as well to give you the opportunity in a few different instances where you'll actually work with those industry partners.
Cool.
In terms of the topics that you'll study, you'll be able to see in the study guide that there is a range of topics across health, tourism, business, management, sport. But then if you're looking more specifically into the outdoor education stream, we actually start off in second year with outdoor adventures, which is based around being a safe and an ethical participant effectively. So it's all day trips that we do, but the topics actually run intensively over 2 weeks. So for most of the time, we're out in the field, we're climbing or we're walking or we're kayaking or surfing, a few different things. And that's actually the first opportunity where you'll look at starting a range of qualifications. So the difficulty with outdoor qualifications is they take an extended period of time, but the beauty of doing this over 3 years is that we can actually link into those activity-specific qualifications as well as the learning that you'll actually do at uni. We extend in second year into looking at Aboriginal studies, mainly around the idea that Outdoor Education Australia identifies outdoor activities, Indigenous perspectives and an environmental perspective in what encompasses more broadly outdoor education. As we move into third year, you've got the chance for an industry placement, which is standard across the Bachelor of Sport, Health and Physical Activity, but that'll be a nice opportunity to connect with outdoor providers. We also then look further into leadership in terms of facilitating learning and development in the outdoors, and we look at what is probably one of the more complex environments to actually facilitate leadership. So we sit around cliff environments and we look at steep terrain work for bushwalking, and we work you towards your rock climbing qualifications as well. So we look at assistant leadership in rock climbing and then extending you beyond that. Moving further into third year, we also look at the idea around facilitation of learning outside of just the activity specifically. So what are the other things that we can use outdoor spaces for? And then we make the connection with outdoor education as a school subject, looking into the future as to whether you would like to exit with some outdoor qualifications from the Bachelor of Sport, Health, Physical Activity, or actually continue into your Masters of Teaching to finish off the extension as an outdoor education qualified teacher.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we should point out that all of the photos in the presentation today have actually been taken when you guys have been out on these different placements and practical experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a couple of photos from Wilpena Pound in the Flinders Ranges. There's a few photos from around Victoria as well, and they're all spots that I've been. We've been with students and we'll look to be as well in the future. One of the benefits of this stream in this degree is the number of practical days that you actually have in the field. In terms of learning in the outdoors, it's really important to actually go out and be there and apply some of these skills, techniques, understandings that we're learning in uni, but integrate that in terms of what we do in the field. So I've got a list of what I would call the main practical outdoor specific subjects there, and what the practical experiences are. So like I said in that first one, we're looking at 8 single day trips out in the field. So we're not throwing you into really long extended expeditions straight away. We're getting you used to some of the activities, some of the things that you need to do to prepare, some of the things that you need to do to stay safe, but then you get to come home at the end of the day as well and have a shower and all of those creature comforts. Moving into the second subject, we do work you through a range of single day trips again, so 6 to 8 days in a cliff environment, preparing for our 5-day rock climbing trip that initially is going to go over to Victoria because of the opportunities for much more extended climbing in terms of the height of the climbs that we'll be able to do over there and the complexity of leadership in terms of that topic. As you go into our third topic around outdoor education, we do a 4-day expedition, and we'll look to work with the group that we have at the time. So we've got the chance to do that as a walking camp, as a kayaking camp, potentially as a surfing camp. The key with that is that the topic is around facilitating learning and development. So the activity is not the critical component as such, but we use the activity as that vehicle for learning, if you like. And that's also your first opportunity there to work with an industry partner. So there's a requirement to work for 7 days with an industry partner, and we keep that quite broad because that might be that you do one 7-day camp, or you go out 7 different times for a day with different industry partners and connect that together as a 7-day placement, if you like.
And it's up to the student to decide how they want to go about that.
Correct.
Cool.
So if you're not looking at being an activity leader, but you would like to work, say, with youth at risk, and you would like to work specifically with the students, not necessarily the activity as such, there's an opportunity to play a part with different roles in those outdoor spaces. Moving into the final topic that you actually do in the stream, Introduction to Education in Outdoor Environments, it's broken up into a few different experiences. So you actually have a couple of single day trips just to refine a few of the things that you're doing. You have a 3-day expedition where you take on a lot of the leadership in the camp, as well as planning, preparation and the closure of that experience, because the final experience that you'll go on in that topic is actually a 14-day trip to the Grampians with a group of school students.
Oh, wow.
So you take on a mentoring role,
Yeah.
really well supported. So we have teaching staff, we have Flinders University teaching staff, we have activity leaders, and then our students slot in as a mentor for the school students and participate in all of the things that the student from the school will participate in. And you also, and this is standard across the Bachelor of Sport Health Physical Activity, you do the industry placement topic. So it's 100 hours minimum working with an industry partner, and we would encourage you that if you're doing the outdoor education stream, that you connect with an industry partner. So your prior 7-day industry experience might be a beautiful little taster to see who you'd like to do that 100 hours with. So that's a really good opportunity to then enter into the field.
Cool, and setting up with all your networks and everything as
Absolutely,
well.
yeah, absolutely. And we're already making those connections with a range of partners here in South Australia and interstate that are really keen to be involved in what we're doing.
Awesome.
This is a really cool photo actually. So this is Wilpena Pound. Absolutely overcast day, and we were trying to navigate towards Mount Abrupt. But once we got to Mount Abrupt, it all cleared up for us. So really blue skies and really good opportunity for the kids to look back at where they'd been. And I say kids because this was actually a school trip. But yeah, really good opportunity to have a look back at where we've been. In terms of where you might go with this stream in this degree, there are a range of opportunities, and these opportunities are opening up more and more. So we've always had outdoor specific activity leaders. We've opened up in South Australia in particular into things like ecotourism.
Mm-hmm.
We've looked at corporate and team building and team development that's now playing in the outdoor spaces more and more, and using those activities specifically as the vehicle for further development. But there's also opportunities to connect with groups like national parks and look at what they're doing with the expansion in South Australia of tour guiding and connecting with activity leaders and using our national parks as a space for community physical activity. So there's a really exciting time now, I think, for outdoor education and outdoor recreation more specifically. There is also an opportunity in the degree to look at tour guiding, so we connect with the tourism degree for a few of the topics that you do, which is a really nice connection with what we do around outdoor tour guiding and using those activities to show people what this state and then other states have to offer.
Sure. And I suppose this course does actually allow you to progress to the Masters of Teaching at secondary level, so it does meet all of the what we call the prerequisite requirements for that Masters course. So if you did want to go on to become an outdoor education teacher in a school as your kind of primary role, this course will certainly set you up for that pathway. But as you said, you don't have to go down that way. You can work as an outdoor educator in a whole range of different fields. And everything as well. And you get the accreditations for bushwalking and rock climbing, which is like a bit separate. That's not normally something that you would receive in a regular kind of degree. But because this degree is outdoor education focused and you're doing those trainings all the way along, you'll come out with additional qualifications as well.
That's right. So each of the activities that we participate in have governing bodies and have their own accreditations.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily for some of those, we are accredited by those organisations to be an assessor, so we can actually assess internally in the degree and then submit all of the required forms to actually have you accredited through a range of stages. So whether that be that you get your point of assistant leadership, or whether you get to a point of being what they call a guide or an instructor. And there's different levels at which you can enter into that those leadership across walking, climbing, kayaking, and a range of other activities as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. You can combine this degree, and this is something I'm not all that familiar with in terms of the combinations, but the way that that degree is structured gives you opportunities, from what I understand, to connect with marketing, business, communications, management,
Yeah, so this is a really good thing at Flinders. A lot of our courses are able to be combined with other degrees, and what that means is it will extend out your original degree by 1 year of study. So instead of just having 3 years and coming out with your Bachelor of Sport, Health and Physical Activity and Outdoor Education, you could come out with that course and something like business marketing for an additional year. So it would take it out to 4 years in total. It's not any like heavier workload or anything like that. Instead of just doing all 4 subjects in, sport, health and physical activity at one point, you might do 2 subjects in that and 2 subjects in business, but you will still get all of the best experiences out of both of those degrees. Not only does it then give you a whole nother qualification in another degree, so you come out with 2 full qualifications, it also will give you some additional skills if you're looking to combine your passion for outdoor education into perhaps a business opportunity, or going and working in a marketing company specific around that outdoor education, or perhaps if you're going down the tourism field and wanting to spend a bit more time and things in those sorts of areas, that would be a good opportunity as well. Same for things like media and communication. So again, looking at different ways of promoting courses and promoting outdoor education areas. And also the Bachelor of Psychological Sciences. So I've actually got a friend who's looking into doing this particular combined degree. She's pretty excited to start it next year. So she wants to go and become an outdoor educator leader with youth at risk. So that's her passion, and she really wants to do the psychology side alongside of it, because it's only one more year, and she gets a whole nother qualification. But she's really passionate about helping kids at risk, identifying in more detail than you'd get in the base level degree about those different opportunities, and maybe working with them in different kinds of roles as well. So not just in that outdoor education option, but a bit of cross combination across all of the different areas. So yeah, it's a really great opportunity if you're as well as if you're tossing up between a few different ones. If you're really passionate about business but also really passionate about your outdoor education, this is actually a way of doing both of them alongside together.
There's some nice combinations there. So outdoor education is not a new field of study as such, but it's certainly an expanding field of study, and in recognising that was part of the stimulus for kind of offering this stream. We've seen in this state alone a double in the number of schools and students finishing with outdoor ed as a Year 12 subject in the last 3 years, and it's still increasing. So word from SACE is that we've got more schools entering Year 12s into that subject area and then finishing up with a SACE unit. So that was part of what I asked myself, where are these students going and what are they actually wanting to do? And that's what makes, in a sense, part of what is unique about this degree. So in this state, we don't have any other degrees that formally recognise outdoor education as a study stream to then allow you to connect with a Masters of Teaching and continue outdoor education into that Masters of Teaching. So you'll have your 6 identified topics around outdoor education in the Bachelor of Sport, Health, Physical Activity, and then we'll offer 2 extra curriculum specialisations in outdoor education if you were to continue into that Masters of Teaching. So you could teach secondary level outdoor education through to Year 12 effectively, which is a unique opportunity, particularly in this state.
It will also actually allow you to work as a primary school teacher, but in primary school you're a classroom-based teacher, so you're not necessarily getting, a particular focus, but it will also qualify if you wanted to go on to the Masters of Teaching at primary level. Correct. As well.
And we're getting some really good support as well from organisations like Nature Play SA, who are now really expanding into curriculum writing and looking at how they're connecting with schools using outdoor spaces as a medium for learning, which is great.
Yeah, so there's lots of opportunities with this course. Even taking out of the going into your Masters of Teaching, is still lots of options to go and work as an outdoor educator, even with school students, just not as a teacher role, but working with those different organisations and everything as well.
Absolutely.
So applications are currently open for this outdoor education course. You do apply online through SATAC, which is the South Australian Tertiary Admission Centre. You do want to get your application in prior to the 28th of September. If you're currently in Year 12, I know that seems really early because you haven't even started your exams yet, but it's just a requirement from SATAC. You are able to apply after that date, but there will be late fees charged, so just avoid those ones and get your application in by the 28th of September. If you're not 100% set on what course you actually want to do, you can still apply before the 28th of September, because you can actually go back and change your preferences until the 3rd of January. So you've got a bit of time to, figure it all out, but we certainly encourage you to submit your application as soon as you can. This year we're doing something a little bit unique. There'll be an early offer round on the 20th of December. Normally you'd have to wait for your main offer on the 15th. So this is a really great opportunity if you are looking into the outdoor education course and that's your first preference, and you end up with that guaranteed entry. You'll actually be able to find out a lot earlier than in previous years you would have, so the 20th of December. If you don't receive an offer that day though, please don't despair. There will be the main offer round as per normal on the 15th of January as well. That's about it from us. If you do have any other questions, you're always welcome to call us or send us an email. We have a range of upcoming webinars as well that you can register on our website, and they'll be uploaded to YouTube as well. There's a few generic ones, so things in scholarships, uni life, how all of those ones work, and then we'll also do webinars on other study areas also. So if you're interested in finding more out about combining the Bachelor of Business or something like that, or maybe in the teaching courses as well, definitely jump on and check those ones out too. Thanks so much everyone. Thank you, Joss. That was really interesting.
Thank you.